Hey, I'm back, and today I want to compare some impulse responses. So, a few months ago, Celestion had a contest for impulse responses, and I was one of the runners up, so I got a chance to get some, impulse responses. And at first I was going to get, the normal ones like vintage 30s and greenbacks, but I decided to get some of the less common ones and, share them here. So, maybe you'll get a chance to hear some that you aren't so familiar with. I got some that I wasn't familiar with, so by comparing it this way, hopefully it'll help you out. So I'll show you what I have here. Okay, so I have lots of different ones here. While I'm switching through these, you can just look here if you don't remember which impulse response it is. So the first one I have is the Celestion A-type. I think this is Celestion's version of like a American style speaker. Apparently it has less mids and more bass and maybe a kind of subdued high end. The next one here is the Classic Lead 80. I believe this was actually made in the 80s and it's supposed to like cut through a mix, so it's good for lead guitar. Next one is the G12-35XC. This is I think it's kind of like a reissue. It's supposed to be like the, I believe, 1960s versions of the greenbacks, I think. And it's made in a different way than the normal greenbacks. It supposedly sounds better or more vintage, etc. But I don't think it's made anymore. I think it was only made for like 1 year, maybe about 10 years ago or so. But luckily, we have the impulse response. The next one is the Celestion Gold, which I believe is like the Celestion Blue, but it's a higher wattage, and I'm guessing it probably has some slightly different tonal characteristics. The next one is the G12H Redback, which I believe is somewhat similar to the A-type. I believe it has more bass and maybe a little bit less treble than some of the other Celestions. And the last one is the V-type, which is a vintage type speaker. And from what I've heard, it's kind of like a greenback, a creamback, and a vintage 30 put together. So enough with the talking. I'm going to switch between these and let you hear them. I have lots of different clips here. I have clean, I have like a crunch sound, and then I have like high gain sounds. So let's start with the clean. I'll play each clip and loop it, and I'm going to switch between them. So the first one is the A-type. Here we go. So there you go. And just to make things a little bit easier, because I know for me, I like to listen to them right, back to back. Having that long pause in between, sometimes the tone gets out of your head. So I'll just loop this short part here and I'll play it. And for each of these, I'll switch through them quickly. Here we go. Okay, let's move to the next clean example. This one is more like a jazz sound. Start with the A-type again. Here we go. Okay, and I'll do one more example. This one is more of a funk thing. Start with the A type again. Here we go. Okay, so there are the different clean sounds. Hopefully those are good. Normally I'd, tell my opinion about this, but I don't think I really need to do that. You can hear it yourself. Let me know down below which one you like. For me, I actually like different ones depending on the clip and the style of music. So I think they're all useful. So let's talk about it down below. Anyways, going to the next one, crunch sounds. I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, we'll start with the Celestion A-type. This time I'm using the high gain. Before I was using the low gain versions. Obviously they come with lots of different impulse responses when you buy these packs, but for this one I'm going to use the high gain. The low gain seems to have a little bit more treble. I think that's because of the microphone mixes, but I'm not sure. And the high gain has a little bit less treble. But let's get started. Do this first clip here. It's fairly short. Here we go. Okay, that was the first one. Play the second example here. Same thing. Okay, and the last clip here. Let's go. Okay. I think this is actually pretty good. It's shows the differences between these. So let me just loop this short part here, and we'll use this and just switch between them quickly. Here we go. First one. Okay, so hopefully that showed you what all these sounded like. Another thing I failed to mention before is that I'm using a little bit of reverb on here, not much though, and so it's just not completely dry. It's very annoying for me when I hear something that's too dry, so I decided to put just a little bit on there. And last but not least, let's do the same thing using the high gain impulse responses on these high gain examples. So here we go. First one. Okay, so that's the first example. And I should just say, I made all these using S-Gear, and I just used the preset, so I didn't tune these to any of these particular IR responses. So hopefully it'll give you a good idea of how these sound and how these differ. But anyways, next example, here we go. Okay, and we have one last example here. Here we go. Okay, so there you go. That's all the examples. I think I went over everything. I hope I did. If there's something else you want to see, let me know down below. And also, tell me which ones you liked for which sounds down below. So I know some people might like one thing, some people might like another one. And also, if you like this, tell me, and I might do another one like this in the future with not just these, but maybe new impulse responses or with some combinations of impulse responses. And if Celestion sees this and they want to send me some free impulse responses, that'd be good too. But anyways, if you like this, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done that, and until next time, see you.